Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Flushedcast. My name is Bullet.
I'm Yamcha.
And I'm Jawn.
Welcome back, John.
It's good to be back.
Jawn, who was on episode 3? I think so. Yeah, he's back.
I have returned, and yeah. You might be hearing my cat in the background, but yeah.
And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the 1995, is it? 96?
96.
96 Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann. Because Jordan and I both really like Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I watched anything Doctor Who was like in 3rd grade, so.
Yeah, I've been into Doctor Who since I was in... Well, I've known about Doctor Who since it came back in 2005 when I was about 6. But I only got into the show... I got in the show at around 2012, 2013, right around that big time of the 50th anniversary. So, like, that was around its peak in the US, I'd say.
That's about when I got into it as well, because
I
remember the first episode I watched was the Doctor, the Widow, the Wardrobe, the Christmas special between season 6 and 7, which was, I think that was the Christmas of 2012.
Yeah, my first episode was actually the very, very first one from 1963 because I got a DVD of it for Christmas that year.
Oh, nice.
It's not the best episode to start with, but I was already kind of into it, so...
Yeah, I think I've seen that, and I don't remember it being that great, but yeah. I mean, what could you expect from, like, the
Part
60s,
1 of it is awesome, but every other part is just a drag.
Yeah. I find that with a lot of the classic series.
Yeah. Once you get to around episode 3 of a classic series episode, or story, that's when it starts to drag. So, like, the average classic Who story is about, 4 parts, so part 3 is when it kind of starts to drag. Part 4 is when it gets to pick up.
It's just people running down generic hallways again, visiting another abandoned quarry.
Yeah, abandoned quarry or hallways. My favorite one is always, like, the one I always go to is the one from the episode The Invasion of Time where they're going around the TARDIS, but they couldn't afford to build new hallways, so they went around, like, a high school or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, with this movie always... So I was always fascinated by the history of this movie. Because
Doctor Who had been off the air for, 7 years at this point?
Yeah, just about. And 3 years before, they did the 30th anniversary, and they were going to do this really spectacular special where they had almost all the living doctors... Actually, all of the living doctors come back, including Tom Baker, who didn't come back for the 20th anniversary, and he was going to be kind of like a main role in it. And it was going to be interesting. Like, they had Jim Henson's Creature Shop design some of the monsters for it, and it was going to be amazing. And then they canceled it. And so when they did an actual 30th anniversary, they did a crossover with the soap opera EastEnders. And it's...
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
That crossover?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I knew that existed,
Yeah.
I didn't know the context, though.
I always liken that to the Doctor Who equivalent of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Honestly, if you want to have a fun time, just watch it, because it's like, you got Peter Davison, who looks like he really doesn't want to be there. You got Tom Baker, who's just depressed. Sylvester McCoy was drunk on set, but he's, like, really putting his all into it, and same with Colin Baker. And Jon Pertwee also looks so dead inside doing this. It's so much fun
How
to
old
watch.
was Jon Pertwee? Because he must be pretty old at that point.
70-something?
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, well, surprisingly, it's like, he, like, kind of, anytime Jon Pertwee came back, he just stepped right into the role. Like, that wasn't even his last time as the Third Doctor. It was for, like, a fan film in, like, the late 90s. In fact, I think that was his last role in anything before he died. But anyway, yeah, so 1996, they were planning on the BBC wanted to bring the show back and they wanted to bring it to an American audience, so they collaborated with the Fox network.
Because this was supposed to like start a new show, wasn't it?
Yeah, they wanted to start fresh, like nothing to do with the previous series. So like they would have like the Daleks wouldn't look anything. The Daleks are like the most famous. They're like those. For those who don't know, the Daleks are like those salt shaker robot things. So
The guys with the plungers.
yeah, they were going to redesign them into floating spider creatures. The Cybermen were going to be basically just the Borg from Star Trek. The Doctor was going to be half human, and the whole series was going to be about him looking for his father. I'm really glad they didn't do that, honestly.
Although the half human part carried into the movie though.
Yeah. But we don't really know. But the thing is, do we really? The thing is, it's sort of left ambiguous. Like, is he joking or? But anyway, yeah. Actually, no. They
Does that ever get brought up again? I can't remember if it ever gets brought up in like a episode of the.
I think it's in a Tenant episode. They mention it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, now, they could bring it. They could totally bring it back. But there's this whole thing. Amblin got involved with it because apparently Steven Spielberg is a Doctor Who fan. I don't really know the whole story with that, but supposedly he's a huge fan of the show, and they were going to be involved with the reboot, but nothing really came of that. So anyway, this movie was basically going to serve as a pilot for the for a future series, and it did fantastic in the UK, but in the US it didn't really. The ratings were pretty low. So that series never really got off the ground. And part of me kind of thinks that's a shame, but another part of me says that if that happened, we never would have gotten the 2005 continuation, which I think is the better is the better option, considering how faithful it was. Yeah. Like, I have friends that are only classic Who purists and hate the new series. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like the best option we could have gotten compared to what we would have had in the 90s.
I mean, I've seen all of New Who and like some classic series, but from what I've seen, I definitely prefer the new stuff.
From what I've seen of the new, and watching this movie, I can definitely tell that I prefer the new stuff.
Yeah. See, I've never really been able to say which one I prefer because, for me, it's divided up in the eras. Like, if we're talking 1970s versus modern Who, I'd say I like the 70s stuff better, but if it was the 80s versus the modern series, I'd definitely go with the modern stuff.
That's fair. What about the 60s stuff?
60s is a mixed bag. If we're talking, like, Troughton, the problem with the 60s stuff is that half the episodes are gone. They're just audio.
that's true, yeah.
Frickin' BBC.
Yeah, not archiving shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I heard it was
You always hear like occasionally they'll find like a lost episode in like Africa or something in a storeroom.
Africa or like India or some of them.
Or South America or something. It'll just be like a broadcast station.
I want to make like a parody, like fan film, like a parody of like an Indiana Jones movie, but with like Ian Levine looking for the lost episodes, and it'd just be like kind of shit talking Ian Levine.
Raiders of the Lost Episodes.
Yeah, Raiders of Marco Polo. Well, actually, supposedly a lot of those episodes are in private collections, but the collectors are asking way too much for them.
Yeah, do you think they'll get released when the collectors die?
Oh, totally.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where this one went, but I know when they found like 8 or 9 in like 2013, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that some got like one episode got lost on the way over or something.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what happened to that. Yeah.
I'm surprised that they were able to well, like, I think one of them that they found was, like, just waterlogged, and I don't know how they managed to restore it, but it was, like, just, there's a lot of water damage in the casing itself. And I think I don't know, some of those episodes, like the one that's people always reference as is it called Galaxy? I think it's called Galaxy 9. Like some of those episodes I think are like more well known for being lost. Galaxy 9 I think is the one with the Chumbleys. Which are these little I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting reading about some of these lost episodes.
How does one
Yeah.
lose an episode?
They destroy. Well, the
The
BBC.
BBC, like in the 60s, they didn't archive stuff, so
Mhm. They were clearing space. From what I understand,
Yeah.
the master tapes, which had the original episodes on them, they were clearing space, and they would recycle tapes over and over instead of having to buy new ones because it was cheaper. So, and not just Doctor Who,
Yeah.
but a lot of famous shows like Dad's Army, and the other one is I think some of the radio stuff too got lost. So what people will go off of are telesnaps, which are screenshots of the episodes, and people would record them on tape recorders too. So that's basically how those episodes still exist in some form. But yeah, it's mostly just fans were just recording it. So now the new thing they're doing is if they can't find the episodes in general, they just animate them.
Yeah, if assuming they slept the audio, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think just about all of them still have the audio. There might be like one episode that doesn't,
Okay.
but yeah. I mean, we were lucky to get the audio at the very least, anyway. But something interesting was the reason, like shows like Monty Python, the reason why all those episodes still exist is because I think it was Michael Palin it might have been Michael Palin bought all the master tapes for him because he knew that the BBC would destroy them eventually.
Interesting.
It was only in the late 60s, early 70s they actually started archiving stuff, which Doctor Who had already been on for like 6-7 years at that point.
Yeah,
so.
let's see, because usually Doctors 1 through 3, William Hartnell, John Pertwee, and Patrick Troughton Hartnell, Troughton, and Pertwee. Those Doctors are missing episodes. In the case with Pertwee, I think all of his episodes exist, but the color prints are gone.
Okay.
So they had to recolor those. But Tom Baker onwards, every single episode has been preserved. So the one saving grace, I always say this movie's just kind of okay, and I think really the saving grace of it is Paul McGann, who is
he's really good, I think.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite Doctors. I think, he's my.
It's such a shame he's only got one this, and just at Night of the Doctor is all he has. It's such a shame.
Well, the thing about the Eighth Doctor is he's probably got one of the largest libraries of
the
material
audio stuff.
Audio, comics, books of any of the Doctors, but he's got the least amount of TV. So it's interesting, but he's got some of the most experimental stuff too. Like, again, the audio dramas are really out there in terms of how they are, and unfortunately when it comes to the Eighth Doctor, there's really no well, this is kind of true with Doctor Who in general, but with the Eighth Doctor especially, there's no strict continuity, which I actually kind of love about it, because it's just you can kind of pick and choose. But yeah, Paul McGann he's a phenomenal actor, and so as the Eighth Doctor, he was just fantastic. He kind of brought this. He was very reminiscent of he kind of brought a little bit of every Doctor before that to the to his character, but he very much brought his own thing. I mean, that's kind of what they all do, but in his case, you could definitely see, because he sort of had this new people call him sort of as the gothic romantic, and I think that's a really good way of describing it.
I think he comes across like a precursor to the modern Doctors, because he's he's a young romantic sort of guy.
You
get a lot more
Tennant,
with Tennant.
He reminds me a lot of Tennant, early Tennant at least. Anyway, where because he's got this, I don't know, he's got this very childlike kind of he's just very optimistic in the movie. he's kind of retains a lot of that later on. But he's just got I don't know, he's just kind of got this wide-eyed attitude towards everything, and that was very informative of a lot of the later Doctors, even the ones that are considered more grumpy, like Capaldi, for example, still has that sense of like excitement. And what's interesting about it is, as a pilot, they decided to actually keep the continuity from the previous show, so having Sylvester McCoy show up in probably one of my favorite costumes that the Seventh Doctor wore. I actually do cosplay it.
Yeah. I think it's a bit weird for a pilot that they chose to do the Master.
Yeah, well, I mean, I
feel like...
See...
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind of on the fence about that, too, because I think the Master is kind of a good introductory villain, because he's kind of like... He's like the Doctor's Moriarty. I always compare him to Moriarty. But at the same time, you kind of have to explain a lot to have the Master make sense for a new audience. I kind of think the Daleks would make more sense as an introductory villain if you were to bring back...
I think the Master would work better, like, if you build to him, like, if this ended up being a show, if you, like, built him across a season or something, which is what they obviously do in a lot of the modern series.
Yeah. Or, like, the classic series always did kind of the same thing, too, where they built him up as a character. And when they introduced him, they dropped him in, but they still had, like, 10 years, almost 10 years of material to explain who he is. So as a pilot, it's weird having a character that needs a lot of explanation, because you got to explain what the Time Lords are, you got to explain why the Doctor knows the Master and why he hates him. So it's interesting. Now, having Eric Roberts as the Master is a ton of fun.
In the modern series, like, they didn't get to the Master for 3 series, so like, in that you had like you understood the context when they got to it. Yeah.
The problem with the Master as a character is they're harder and harder to bring into the show as time goes on. And I think in spoilers for the 10th season, I think the intention was to just kill off the Master entirely and just not have him there. So, because it'd be harder to bring back. I mean, spoilers again, they did bring the character back, and I really do. I love this new iteration of the Master. But I do think it's getting harder and harder to bring back that character, because you have to find a new reason to do it, and B, like, you have to carry on his animosity towards the Doctor. So it's just hard to do it.
Yeah. Do you want to go through? Do you want to go through the plot of the movie then? Yamcha, do you want to do it? You watched it today, so.
To be honest, I didn't understand a lot of what was happening, so this is gonna make you.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so there's this one Doctor, like the 7th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
well done.
so he takes the TARDIS to what is it, San Francisco or whatever?
Yeah.
San Francisco, and he gets killed. Well, not killed yet, but so then like some kid named like Changli or something, it takes the Doctor to a hospital, and they're trying to perform surgery on him to, and they're confused because in the X-rays they see that he has 2 hearts, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Changli takes like the Doctor's stuff from the surgeon, and then runs off with it or something.
Yeah. This is amazing.
Then some like sludge monster just goes into some guy who's laying in bed, and then the 8th Doctor comes.
Yeah, the Doctor regenerates in a
he regenerates.
very weird
Okay.
effect.
And he has weird hair now. And
And it's like timed with a scene from Frankenstein. The guy's watching on the TV.
what?
The guy is watching like the old Frankenstein
Oh,
on
yeah.
TV, and it's like timed
that was
with
always a
that.
weird thing because the whole thing of Frankenstein's supposed to be disturbing when he's when he's brought to life, but when the Doctor does it, it's more like a natural thing. So
Yeah,
I don't know how to feel about that.
it's like just weird imagery that like I don't know what their intention behind showing it was, like pointing out the connection. I don't know. Yeah, so
What's
the
next?
like the master becomes that guy who was in the ambulance, and he has like snake eyes now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what happens next is the Eighth Doctor is stumbling around the hospital, doesn't know who he is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he goes into like the employee locker room and takes a guy's like costume, which is like this Edwardian coat, and like he puts it on. Which, I mean, side note, that's an amazing costume. That guy got.
Yeah.
And so he goes to the lead heart surgeon, and he tries to ask her who he is, and he's just kind of hanging out with her for a little bit. And meanwhile, the kid with all the Doctor's stuff meets up with the Master, and he takes him to the TARDIS and sort of lies to him, saying, "Oh yes, the Doctor stole all my regenerations, so I'm going to get them back. I'm not evil. Mwahaha."
Yeah.
And then like they're kind of out. So later the Doctor and the heart surgeon Grace are out walking, and he starts to recall a bunch of memories, and then he realizes he is the Doctor, and he's all excited about that. And then he realizes what's going to happen, that the Master's going to open up the Eye of Harmony, which is sort of like the main power source for all TARDISes, and basically just to destroy the world, pretty much. Like there's this whole thing where he's like, "Oh, we got to stop him." There's a motorcycle chase. They bring back the Jelly Baby scene, which I love.
Oh yeah.
For context, the Fourth Doctor, whenever he would throw people off, he'd offer people a Jelly Baby. He's just like, "Would you like a Jelly Baby?" And people would be just so confused. And there's like a whole compilation on YouTube of every single Jelly Baby scenes, and I'm so glad that's something that's been kept like every so often. Actually, I think Tom Baker, when he'll go to cons, he doesn't do it as much anymore, but because he's almost in his 90s. But he'll actually give people Jelly Babies after he signs people's autographs.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, whenever I cosplay the Fourth Doctor, I'll carry around a bag of Jelly Babies if I have them. So yeah, they go to like the atomic clock, or there's like some sort of special clock, because it's like they're apparently at midnight the whole thing's going to blow up.
Oh yeah, because it's 1999. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to party like it's 1999 and stop and save the world. So anyway, they go to the TARDIS and they get caught by the Master. And so the Master's going to use the Eye of Harmony to transfer the Doctor's remaining regenerations to him, because the Master's out of them. And then he kills both the human characters, and like I can't remember what happens. He gets sucked into the Master gets sucked in the Eye of Harmony.
Yeah.
And the Eye of Harmony resurrects both the humans. And then the Doctor leaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then his record machine stops working, and he's like, "Oh no, not again."
Yeah.
And
yeah. I mean, it's not very good, is it?
it's okay.
I think that's a bit harsh. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like a middling. modern series episode, but I don't think it would be a good introduction to the show. It's kind of like I see people use the episode Blink saying, "Oh, that's a great introduction." I think it's
No,
sort
it's
of in that
not.
area where it's like both Blink and this movie are not good introductions to the show.
Like
Like,
Blink, Blink is it's one of my favorite episodes of the show, but
mhm.
it's just so unlike what the show normally is that it wouldn't be a good
Yeah,
introduction. I don't think.
yeah, I guess that's sort of
Like,
what I was going with there because it's like
yeah,
it's a different beast and doesn't really give a good introduction.
because it's. I mean, the main it's a Doctor Light episode, which the show
Yeah,
normally isn't. So
yeah. Um,
I think I would have liked this better if I had watched more Doctor Who recently.
yeah. It's a thing you watch if you're like already into the show and you have curiosity as to like the history. Honestly, I hate to say it, but the history is more of the movie is more interesting than the actual movie.
oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And
um.
I wouldn't even say it's the best TV appearance of the Eighth Doctor.
Oh no, yeah. No, would you say no to the Doctor?
Yeah, Night of the Doctor
Yeah,
is still his
definitely.
best.
That's a really good shot.
Yeah. Part of me really
Um,
part of me would rather have him in the actual 50th anniversary, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
I would I would have liked that, but yeah, I don't know. I'd like that, but I also love having John Hurt in it. So
Yeah, oh, I love John Hurt. Oh, he was
The War
awesome.
Doctor's really great. Yeah,
But yeah,
I'd
it's
say John Hurt's probably the best, not the best Doctor, but like the best in terms of pure acting ability. I'd say he's the best actor to play the Doctor.
yeah, it's either him. It's sort of a tie between him, Capaldi, Tom Baker, and uh, did I say Pertwee?
You didn't know.
Oh, yeah, and Pertwee or
Mm.
Troughton. I don't know. I see. I think with Doctor Who is I'm so torn. I have a lot of like ties in terms of favorite stuff.
I know my top like five, but after that it gets a bit murky. Um,
Yeah, same.
my top five is Capaldi, Smith, Troughton, Tennant, Eccleston.
Yeah, I think mine
Yeah.
are Tom Baker, Capaldi or Smith. They kind of switch back and forth. Troughton, Tennant, and McGann.
Yeah,
I like Tennant.
Tennant's
he's
a lot
good.
of fun.
He's great.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
one I've watched the most of.
So yeah, I don't know. Doctor Who's always been my favorite show, and or ever since I got into it, it's been my favorite show, and I think the history of it's so fascinating. Um, and all the people who worked on it, like you had Douglas Adams from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy working on the show. You've had Neil Gaiman, who's done a couple episodes. You had who the guy who helped create it, Sidney Newman, isn't he like an icon of British TV?
All I know of him is Doctor Who. I don't know. I think judging by like, I think I think he did a lot in the '60s, judging by An Adventure in Space and Time. I don't know if you have you seen that.
I haven't yet. I really should though.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I'd really recommend it.
Mm-hmm. But I think Sidney Newman was involved with uh he was involved with a bunch of spy shows like the Avengers is like one of them, probably not. I should clarify, this isn't Marvel's Avengers, this is a different thing
Yeah,
entirely, but
It's the
it was
spy
a
TV show, isn't it?
really big spy show from the 60s, and actually my dad watched it, but I think he was involved with that, but I might be wrong.
Do you guys ever have anything else to say about the about it?
It was not aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think it's shot very nicely. I think it had the same cinematographer as one of the Resident Evil movies, so that should tell you what you need to know.
It does kind of look like the Resident Evil movie now you mention it.
I think
It has that like 90s TV movie quality. That's the problem.
it was done by the person who did the cinematography for 3 of the Resident Evil movies. So
Yeah.
I will say though, that TARDIS set is amazing.
It looks really nice, yeah. I do
Yeah,
like that design.
like that is one of the best TARDIS sets in my opinion.
What's your favorite of the TARDIS designs, do you think?
Ooh, crap. I'd say the first Smith TARDIS is my favorite, but lately I've been kind of leaning towards the Capaldi set.
I think the Capaldi one is the best one.
Mhm.
I
I like TARDIS sets that are lived in.
Yeah, and I like all the books around and the warm lighting.
Yeah,
I didn't like that because it's slightly different to the one Smith had at the end of season 7. I don't like that one because it looks very clinical and clean.
Yeah,
But I think it looks really nice in Capaldi's seasons.
yeah. Like
I
think,
also like Smith's first one.
My ideal TARDIS set would be kind of like the one from this movie, but a little bit more like the doorway is a police box door and it leads straight to the console, and but there's like chairs, stacks of books everywhere, and yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about the movie, or do you want to do ratings then move on to something else?
I don't know. I don't got anything.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've basically said my piece with that.
Yeah, same. I mean, if we want to move on to ratings, I'd give it this is very generous, but I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's probably more of a 5.5, but yeah.
I'd say about a 6 as well.
I gave it a 4 because, yeah.
Oof. I mean, that's not unfair, yeah. So, do you guys want to talk about E3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big disappointment in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's not don't reveal your cards too early. E3. So, do you want to go through it conference by conference?
We could do a top 5 as well. Like just because I feel like there's going to be some conferences where it's just like none of us really found anything interesting.
I'll read out I'll read out a list of the conferences. See if you guys have anything to say. So,
I actually watched the Scott Dewaz E3 summary, and I found that actually kind of pretty informative.
yeah, I watched that yesterday. I think I enjoyed that more than any of E3.
Yeah. Problem with E3 conferences is that they're always super awkward, and like even when they did the virtual ones like they did this year, there's just
I missed
always
the guy shouting "yeah" to everything Bethesda said.
Yeah! They should have brought that guy back.
They should have found out who he was. But anyway, so anything to say about Ubisoft? I've watched that. I found it pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I don't care.
I swear to God, there was one thing that was like, oh, that looks kind of interesting, but I can't really think of anything. No.
Yeah, I can eat a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gearbox. I didn't watch that. I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Okay, on to Sunday. So I think this is one we'll have stuff to say about the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. I'd say this was the second best of this E3.
I don't own it. I'm not really an Xbox guy, but I can at least have something to say about it. Like, I think it's interesting. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I'm not. I don't own an Xbox, but I'm a big fan of Bethesda's games, so I'm really hyped for Starfield, which I like the trailer for.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my cat keeps coming. Hey, Ethel.
This week's episode of the Flushcast is starring Jawn and John's cat.
We gotta keep this in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like the look of Starfield we got. Although I wish we saw some Elder Scrolls 6, but I guess I don't know. Other than that, people were raving about this conference, saying it was one of the best. But other than Starfield, I didn't really care about it.
I mean, I think it's interesting that Xbox is sort of highlighting a lot of indie stuff. So like, oh, sorry, one of my other cats got pissed.
Okay,
I'm sorry. We have there's 2 cats in here right now. One of them's kind of grumpy. Anyway, I don't think Clarabelle's the one that just hissed. I don't think she liked the Xbox E3 presentation. Anyway, I like how they're highlighting a bunch of indie games. I think that's sort of what Xbox's whole thing is now that they got like Game Pass and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, so stuff like what comes like 12 minutes comes to mind. That's
Oh yeah, that
or
looked interesting actually. Yeah.
I'm probably not gonna play it, but it does look interesting.
It's got like James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And Willem
awesome
Dafoe.
cast, I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Three
Yeah.
really good actors. So yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
and Willem
and
Dafoe.
that doesn't look like. Yeah. It looks like it will probably. It looks. Not in a bad way, but it looks like it will be cheap. So I might play it.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds
like it's good,
negative,
yeah.
but yeah.
Well, it's an indie.
Yeah.
Indie games are usually cheaper than AAA.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that it looks
Yeah.
really interesting. Although I feel like just the subject matter, I think might be a little bit not really something I'd be interested in because it just seems a little too
I like-
dark for my liking.
I like time loop stories, so I think it'll be right. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the
I
time
love
loop part
it.
looks interesting though, I'll say that. And the fact that it's a top-down game as well.
Yeah. Anything else to say about that showcase, or
Nope.
Right,
I will say I like the logo for Starfield. That is like just the graphic design. I'm a graphic design student, and that logo is so cool.
nice. Okay. After that, it was Square Enix. Do you guys have anything to say about this?
I didn't pay attention.
Which one was it?
Square Enix. I do not.
It was a Square Enix conference.
Yeah, I can't remember what they showed. I don't know if I even watched that one. After that, it was no. Hang on. Square. Were they the ones who showed the Guardians game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was. They showed Guardians for like half a fucking hour. It was unbelievable. It was like, as Scott the one said in his video, it was the demo wouldn't fucking end.
Yeah.
It probably won't be good at all.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean-
I told people really hated the Avengers game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, apparently
Yeah.
that was awful. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that they announced like an update for that with Black Panther or something, but just no one plays that game. Just stop it.
I'm
Focus your efforts
surprised
into
because
something better.
I would have expected, just like I'm not a Marvel fan at all, just to clarify, but I'm very surprised that game didn't have that good a reception. I mean, I
Mhm.
haven't played it, so I probably, if I played it, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, no, it deserves the hate. So, but like, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that it got the reception it did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Square Enix they showed new. This is just my memory of it, so I might be missing stuff, but they showed a new Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Square out. For some reason, I thought that was a Naughty Dog game.
I mean, it's developed by, I think they're called Don't Nod, but it's published
Yeah.
by Square.
Yeah, Square publishes it. They don't.
I mean, I really liked the first Life is Strange, but I just did not care for 2 or 3. So, like, I don't know if you call it 2. It's like a prequel, but whatever. Yeah, or 2. Yeah, it just. I probably won't play this new one. They announced like remastered versions, which look barely different in my opinion. Yeah.
And
I
then they
can't
put a
remember
bunch
what
of
else.
Final Fantasy games on mobile too, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah. They put like the first 6 Final Fantasies on Steam and mobile, even though those are already available on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Nice.
Yeah.
After that, there was the Warner Bros. Games. I didn't watch that.
Yeah, I didn't care.
But what about Verizon?
That's coming. That's
What
coming.
did
That's
they
coming.
even showcase?
Just before Verizon, there was the PC gaming show. I didn't watch that.
I watched a little bit, and it was just indie games, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the bulk of PC games tend to be indie,
True.
don't they?
Yeah.
And there was the Future Games show. I don't know who they are. So, yeah. Then now, okay, brace yourselves. Now we have Verizon. Woohoo.
Oh God, really? Oh man, that was the best. That was the best one of the whole the whole E3. I no doubt about that. It totally had a reason to be there.
Oh yeah, yeah. What did they even show? I only know that it happened because of Scott's video.
Yeah, same.
Then after that,
Weren't they just?
After-
They were just talking about like internet, weren't they? Like just internet
think
gaming. Like
so.
they weren't even talking about specific games. They're just talking about like, oh, you can 5G LTE, and you can buy a router from us, and
yeah. Then after that, there was Intellivision, that company who I think made consoles in the 80s.
In the
just haven't
70s, too.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know why they were there. Can I skip to
know.
something? Okay, did any of you guys watch Capcom's? I didn't.
Nah.
Did I? No, I didn't think so.
Then after that, there was Razer, who don't make games. They make, like, mice and stuff. I don't know.
I mean, Razer doesn't make games, but at least their conference makes more sense than Verizon.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in
They
the
make
gaming industry, at
peripherals.
least. Then, I feel like this is what we'll have the most to say about. We have the Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought this was the best part of E3. I
Best,
think,
yeah. I mean, Nintendo is usually the only. I mean, the only console I have that's from this generation is a Switch, and I mean, so Nintendo's really the only conference that I do look forward to. And god damn, this was a good one. This was a really good conference.
yeah, because they started with some guy from Tekken going to Smash, which, like, fine, I guess. It's not another anime swordsman, but
I was hoping someone more.
yeah, I don't know. It is disappointing to
know.
me, I think.
They are just not gonna put Waluigi in there.
We should have had Bush on for this episode so we can talk about Waluigi.
Oh god, that would end in blood. Yeah, I mean, this is like the 6th time in a row people have predicted Doomguy and he hasn't got in, which is quite funny.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for Doom Guy to get in, but I kind of understand why they don't put him in. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I just don't know why
Snake's
people are
in
so
there, but
adamant each time that this is the time he's going to get in. Just never is.
yeah, like people want Master Chief. It's sort of the same case with Master Chief, where it's like the games that they are in aren't really. It's hard to really kind of. I can't really see him in Smash. Like, yeah, Snakes and like people point to Snake, but the Metal Gear games are goofy.
Yeah,
they're not. They don't really take themselves too seriously compared to like Doom or Halo.
I think Master Chief has a better chance than Doomguy, though. I think Master Chief has a better chance
I'd say
than
Master
Doomguy.
Chief would too. I'd say Blazkowicz would have a better chance than Doomguy, to be honest. Actually, no, that's a lie.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is.
BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no.
No,
Yeah,
definitely
no,
not.
that.
Actually, Duke Nukem might, but nah.
Oh yeah.
I'd say there were some like iconic characters that I feel like that it feels weird that like Lara Croft I would have thought would be in by now. Or
Yeah, I'm surprised, but Lara Croft's not there.
Or
I
like
think
it's a Doomguy issue of being like a bit too gory, but like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat I would have thought would be quite obvious.
I think it's. I was gonna say it's largely probably because he's in another fighting game, but if we have the Tekken guy, and
we have
Ryu
Tekken
there
and
already.
Ryu, yeah.
I think Bubsy would have better chances of getting into Smash than Doom Guy, to be honest.
How many characters do they have left in the Fighter Pass now?
One more.
Oh, so one more. Do you reckon they're holding someone big for the last one? Or do
Hopefully.
do you reckon it'll be another disappointment? Because I think the only DLC character that I actually like want to play as is Steve.
Same. Yeah.
Like,
Steven Joker.
Oh yeah, Joker's in there.
I wish it was the good Joker. By that I mean Jared Leto, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. So after they did the Smash, I mean, this isn't going to be in order, but do you want to talk about Breath of the Wild 2 now?
Yes, yes.
I feel like Jawn has a lot to say
okay,
about
Breath
this.
of the Wild 2 is the game that I am the most hyped for right now, because I have been playing the first Breath of the Wild nonstop for since spring of last year, and oh my god, it's awesome, and I recommend it if you haven't played it. Frickin' play Breath of the Wild. It's an awesome game. But yeah, the second game looks awesome. I've read so many really interesting theories about it, and I'm interested. They didn't say what the title would be because it would give away too much. So it's like even more. I want to know more.
Because they announced it's like next year, isn't it? I think.
People say quarter one, but
I'm gonna guess like it'll be their holiday title of next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say holiday. I think around the holidays it's gonna come out.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't particularly care for Breath of the Wild that much. I mean, it was good, but I didn't think it was amazing. I think I'll give it another shot though before the sequel comes out.
I have
I need
been,
to continue playing.
yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
I played
I
on the Wii
just
U,
got
so
every
maybe that's
single
it.
shrine done in the game, and I'm going
Jesus.
to do. I got to do Trials of the Sword. Then I'm going to finally beat it again. Because I did technically beat it before, but they send you right back to like before your fight with Ganon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are you going to get all like 900 Korok seeds?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think I'll ever get to that, man.
That's where you draw the line?
I'd love
then?
to, but it's yeah, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that they talked about Skyward Sword HD, which I mean it doesn't look like they're adding much to it, which is a shame.
I know people compare it to the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remakes, but I think I sort of was thinking about this earlier today. I think the reason why they didn't change too much, at least visually, is because it is of those three games, it is the most recent. Um, so I think that might have been why. But even still, it would have been nice if they did something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it. I might get it.
Have you ever played the first Skyward Sword?
No, I have not.
If you haven't, then I recommend getting the remake because I mean, incredibly controversial opinion incoming, but Skyward Sword is my favorite 3D Zelda, favorite Zelda game in general. So
I have watched the Game Grumps playthrough of it, if that counts.
I never found the motion controls too annoying, to be honest. I only had to like re-synchronize like a handful of times, and honestly, I like that it's a bit of a change up from just the classic, the way that it'd been going from like Ocarina to Twilight Princess, which was the same basic controls.
My only thing about like older style Zeldas is I think it's just because I did actually the first Zelda game I actually did ever play was Breath of the Wild, so I think I do like having that. I would rather explore the world rather than go through dungeons.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I would recommend if you haven't played it already, I'd recommend getting Skyward Sword when it comes out.
Yeah, I think I might. I'll probably get it. It's on those games I mentioned. It's on like that list of games I am interested in once they come out.
Yeah. So then we got Metroid Dread, which was a complete shock because that's been been rumored for like 15 years. So
wasn't it supposed to be on the 3DS?
I think at one point, yeah. But I think
that was when they
started before
initially
that
came with the concept. It was supposed to be for 3DS, but it wasn't working with the hardware.
Yeah.
So they had to wait until
the
Switch came out.
I mean, new 2D Metroid, like hell yeah, I'll play that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there wasn't news on Prime 4 sadly, but
I'll admit I've only ever played a little bit of Super Metroid, so I am sort of I am sort of out of the loop with a lot of Metroid games, but I might get it. We'll see. I probably will have to look at some like videos of it, and then but you know,
I really want a Prime. I mean, everyone wants this apparently, but I really want Prime Trilogy to come to Switch because I want to play those games, and they're so expensive now on like the Wii. Yeah.
Yeah. Wii games are getting weirdly expensive now, and I mean, it's
Really?
Yeah, it's because of the nostalgia, but yeah. So like I think now it's just honestly it's probably worth getting if you want to play Wii games but don't have a Wii, I think it might just be worthwhile just to get a Wii U.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah. So what else did they show at the Nintendo one?
They had those Zelda Game and Watch things.
Oh yeah,
That was
which
interesting.
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
looks
people
cool.
are complaining
I'm not
about
gonna
it,
get
but the people that complain about it probably weren't even gonna buy them to begin with. So like,
Yeah, I was considering getting the Mario one they did, but I mean, I'm gonna play it once, think this is cool, never touch it again. So there wasn't any point in buying it. So I didn't.
Yeah, it's you know,
it's a cool concept. But...
Yeah, they're making them. They're making them for a very specific audience in mind.
It's like
So,
collectors,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Did they show anything else major? Oh, we've missed a ton of stuff. So, there was new WarioWare.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh,
That's one
Mario
of the
Party.
things.
That's
Mario
that's
Party.
that's
Yeah.
what
That's
I'm,
it. That's
yeah.
one of the other things. Yeah, Mario Party as well, which I think looks cool.
I'm totally gonna get that once it comes out.
There's a new Super Monkey Ball. I mean, I've never played those games.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I
That's
think that looks cool.
Yeah. It's cool.
An Advance Wars collection. People are getting excited about that. I don't know what that
That
is.
looks like
but
fun.
Good for them.
I'm not gonna lie, that looks like a lot of fun.
What is Advance Wars? Was it on the
I
Game
think
Boy
it's a
Advance?
game from like the NES era, unless I'm mistaken.
Is it the ones with the
Wars.
tanks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh wait,
also
maybe
known
it's
as
from the game
Famicom Wars.
GBA because Advanced.
No, from the NES because it says also known as Famicom Wars apparently, which was the NES.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, no. But this game case is showing. Maybe it was. I mean, there was definitely one on the GBA then. I don't know.
Yeah, it says it looks like it says GBA.
Yeah.
The art style is really fun. It's it's like. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's an NES game because it came out in 1988.
Okay.
Huh.
I guess it was like a GBA port of it then.
Yeah.
Most likely.
But yeah,
I
this.
wonder if when they brought it over to the West, it was on the GBA. Maybe it didn't even come out on the original NES. It was just a Famicom.
That could be it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that I think Nintendo's was easily the best E3. I think.
Definitely.
Yep.
It was funny when it started. I like woke up and was like, oh crap, I'm missing the Nintendo conference. And I hopped on, and they're talking about the Zelda Famicom, the Zelda Game and Watch games. So, like they're just wrapping that up, and then they just went to the trailer, which was like the main thing I was interested in, and I was like, hell yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to rant a bit about the Bandai Namco show.
Oh,
gosh.
go right ahead.
Okay, so Bandai Namco is the team that has been doing all the anime games. They've done the Dragon Ball games, everything else. And so Arc System Works, the team that did Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ, they're rumored to be making a My Hero Academia FighterZ. And then there's also the Dragon Ball game for this year that's supposed to be announced, because they always have one every fiscal year.
Yeah.
And it's renewed for one. And Bandai Namco shows one game in their show, and it's something that, what is this? I don't even know what it is.
Don't they develop Smash as well, or was that just Wii U?
That was
I think they do. Yeah, they certainly worked on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
they worked on it because they do Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've worked on it
Namco.
since they did
Yeah.
Smash 4 and they've done Ultimate. Yeah.
I know they do the Warriors games, like they've been doing. They do Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I was angry
You're
about
pissed at
that.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, because My Hero Academia is my second favorite show, and a fighting game would be awesome for it, but no.
They cancel it for for a DBZ game. Sounds like it.
Right. Do you want to move on to something else then? Because I think we've covered E3 quite in depth, so.
Yeah, sure. So next up so Sam suggested we talk about this news from today.
Oh, the
as
Lego
of
ideas.
recording.
I feel like, are these the sets that, I don't think Jawn was there for this, but me, you, and Sam went through and were ranting about these just off air.
And we weren't even recording. It
Yeah,
was like before we were supposed to record, and we were having short. Sam had to leave at some point.
Yeah, I can't remember what episode that was, because
I think it was The Hobbit.
that was The Hobbit. Yeah, I was going to say that's The Hobbit, yeah.
So they just rejected all of these sets except for one.
And it wasn't even a good one.
Oh my god, that I would have bought that Mystery Shack set day one. I've been watching Gravity Falls again recently, and
I would have got
it's
the Hobbit
I
hole,
would-
the Spirited Away house,
Spirited
or
Away.
castle,
Why
or whatever.
didn't
Oh.
that win?
the Wallace and Gromit one got rejected.
I would have bought that.
The
Come on.
Spirited Away one, the Walls and Gromit one, and the Gravity Falls one, I definitely would have got.
The Hobbit one
know
as
for
well
sure
looks
I would have
awesome.
gotten the Gravity Falls one.
Just like, what the fuck are they thinking?
That
I'll get
Roadster looks pretty cool too.
I'll put a
The
picture
Roman
of-
Galley?
Yeah.
That got that. Okay, I would have gotten that too. That's pretty fucking cool.
I mean, some of these were understandably rejected, like the fucking garbage truck.
Yeah. Garbage truck I could see being a literal city set. That's not an idea.
That
the
is a
Avatar
city
one
set.
got rejected. Both Avatar ones. The good one and the bad Avatar.
And the Among Us.
That last Airbender, yeah, that last Airbender set looks awesome.
I know, yeah.
Just oh my
And then they go with the motorized lighthouse. That looks
Okay, I will
not
admit
so
that
good.
lighthouse is pretty damn cool though, but I don't know if
I
I
don't
get
know.
it.
It's
I'll-
just
I'll get Diabolical to put a picture of these in the video.
yeah.
Oh, they had a Milwaukee Art Museum one.
Yeah, Sam was disappointed that one didn't win.
I've been to the Milwaukee Art Museum. It's so cool. It's not the full
What about-
building. Yeah, it's not the full building, but it's wow. That's
Yeah.
I would have bought that. That's so cool.
This is really it's pissing me off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can get why some of these were rejected because they'd have to pay a licensing fee.
Oh yeah.
Or like
yeah.
the police station, the Coliseum, those both just came out.
Yeah,
We've
I'm
already had a
surprised
Coliseum,
Coliseum's
yeah.
there is even there because they just got that big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amogus.
The
Spirited
little
Away-
Venice one's cool.
I think
The
the Spirited
Venice
Away
one looks
one I would have got.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The castle looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that Viking village too. The Addams Family house.
I like the
It's-
car wash.
It's so
Oh,
dumb.
yeah, that's neat. I thought that was a Flintstone set at first.
Yeah,
Next
I mean,
round,
good for the
if-
person who made the lighthouse. I'm sure they're happy. I'm not.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just wish that Mystery Shack set would have been accepted. That would have been so cool.
I wish either the Hobbit or Spirited Away ones I would definitely would have got.
Next round, if the Totoro set doesn't win, then I'm
You're-
gonna have a gamer moment.
You gonna
Yeah.
boycott Lego?
Yeah, society. I'm gonna have that's gonna be my Joker moment.
I can't remember what the next one what else they have.
I don't know. I don't remember either, other than the Totoro set, because that's the only one I care about.
I know I'm from Michigan and I know a lot of people are campaigning to get the Mackinac Island Grand Hotel set made. That was an interesting set, although it was like teeny. It wasn't like it was like the architecture scales. That's like a really, for those who don't know, the Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island is this like old building, old hotel, and they've got like this giant like kind of porch set up with balconies. It's a really nice building.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about this? Either of you?
I guess with the Spirited Away and Totoro set, they're made by the same guy who made the
Yeah.
Van Gogh Starry Night set.
Oh,
So that just whatever.
Yeah.
It makes the chances of it winning lower.
was the crocodile locomotive set an ideas thing?
Yes, it was.
I can't
Oh, I
remember.
still need to get that one.
I don't
yeah.
know if wait, did it come out?
Yeah, it's
I don't
out.
think-
It
Oh.
came out last year.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope they do more train stuff because they haven't really been doing that many lately. But I don't know.
Mhm.
Granted, I think the best Lego train models that have been coming out are all fan projects or from third parties. So I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If there's like no Ghibli sets ever, then I'll probably just like buy a mock.
Yeah.
Right. Do we have another topic?
Uh,
I don't know. I mean, I assume. Well, I assume Jawn didn't, but Yamcha, did you watch? Have you watched any of Loki so far? We didn't get your opinion on that
I've
last
watched
time.
the first 2 episodes. I haven't watched. Did one come out today or is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, so you've caught up then.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's the best so far. I'd say.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I've really liked both the ones so far too, but yeah,
Mhm.
I'm really liking Loki so far.
I don't know how I feel about the villain yet. Maybe
I'll
a
have to
little
wait to see
develop.
you in another video,
Then,
in
yeah.
another episode, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm definitely. This has got me to like Loki a lot more than I ever did in anything else, so that's good.
Yeah, I didn't understand like the love for him that everyone had before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Owen Wilson is being really good in it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much else to say, but yeah, it's good. Oh, I've got an idea. So we're roughly halfway through 2021 so far. Do you want to do
Mhm.
favorite new watches we've done? Do you want to do that?
Favorite new watch of 2021.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Sure.
So because we're like halfway
Just
through,
pull
so
one of
might
those.
as well. I'll just see. I've seen 260 films this year, so let's see.
See,
I can name off.
I've been going off of old stuff too, mostly. So are we going to stuff that came out this year?
No, just anything that you
Just
watched this year for the first
Oh,
time.
okay.
Could be what your favorite movie was that you watched for the first time this year.
I think mine might be Castle of Cagliostro because I watched that for the first time this year.
Nice. For me, it's either Demon Slayer Mugen Train or what else?
Oh, I watched The Italian Job for the first time this year too.
Okay, cool.
Barnyard. Actually, I've seen that before, so it's my Barnyard is my guilty pleasure.
Oh, Sherlock Hound I started watching this year. And Solar Opposites. Yeah. And I mean, if you like Rick and Morty, I think you'd like Solar Opposites. It's kind of got a similar sense of humor. It is this. It's Justin Roiland, so it would have the same.
When I saw the trailer for it, I was kind of worried about it, but
Yeah.
I've been hearing good things.
Yeah. And I finally watched season 4 of Rick and Morty, which I really liked. Probably my favorite season of the bunch besides the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Collateral for the first time this year, the Tom Cruise movie. I really loved that. Yeah, it was really good. I think I gave that a 10 out of 10, so that's probably my favorite new watch.
Nice.
Oh, the other week I watched Coen Brothers movie, Burn After Reading.
I've heard of that. I haven't seen it though.
It's funny. It's it's a Coen Brothers dark comedy, and it's like a spy. It's a parody of like a spy thriller, and I thought it was really funny.
Another thing
I
I
guess since
watched. Oh, sorry. No, you go.
So, you can go, I guess.
Okay. I watched both of these are Ghibli movies, but Ponyo and Kiki's Delivery Service, they both gave 9s too. I really like those. I watched them for the first time this year.
I finally watched Anatomy of a Murder.
Oh, nice. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's awesome. It was awesome watching it. Because I recognizing all the locations from like my daily life in a movie like that, and also I mean the movie itself is phenomenal. I mean that goes without saying.
Nice. I might recommend that on the show at some point.
Oh, okay. Nice. Bullet, you watched Curious George this year.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I guess since Jawn, you did some shows, you can do some shows if we. Bullet, have you watched any new shows?
Oh, let me. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm currently watching The Boys, which I'm really loving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like halfway through season 2 at the moment. Really good. I finished season 1 yesterday. I really recommend it. And another film I watched this is another film, but I watched for the first time this year. This Is England. Have either of you heard of that?
I
Isn't it a documentary?
I rewatched it the other day. It's not a documentary. It's like about like I don't know, coming of age kind of. It's like a kid growing up in the north of England and like falling in with a gang. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's it's about based on the personal experiences of Shane Meadows, the director. Yeah, I'd really recommend.
I guess I was wondering because I mean I've seen you post your reviews of it, and I was thinking it was like some sort of like 7-Up situation where it's like the same cast of people they return to every couple of years or something like that.
It's basically that, but they're fictional characters.
Okay.
So, because there's This Is England the movie, which is I think that's set in like 1983. Then there's This Is England 86, which is a miniseries like sequel, which is picking up in 1986. Then there's This Is England 88 and This Is England 90, which are just like picking up with the characters a few years down the line in their miniseries, which is really good. Yeah, I'd really recommend all of that. Been rewatching that over the past couple of days. Yeah.
I started watching John Adams. Really like that. It was awesome. If you're really into history and political history, highly recommend it. Or if you're just into acting, it's awesome.
Cool.
For me, it's all anime. So the ones they're not ones that some of them are new watches for this year. Some of them are I started last year, but Demon Slayer, great show. We've talked about it before. Parasite, pretty good, pretty poggers.
Oh, for
Cowboy Bebop.
So
What?
Parasite, that's not the Oscar one.
With a Y.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
with a Y.
I was thinking you were talking about the movie that's not anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, did they adapt it into an anime or like?
I mean, they're getting a sequel show, aren't they?
They are.
I know it
Yeah.
got adapted into a graphic novel using the storyboards from the movie.
They're making Parasite. They're making a sequel series to it, I think.
So and then is Cowboy Bebop.
I still
Become
need
one
to
of my
watch
favorite
Cowboy.
shows.
I still need to watch
So
Cowboy
good.
Bebop.
The soundtrack watch it dubbed.
Yeah. I'm totally gonna do
Steve
that.
Blum. Steve Bloom. I don't know. He's amazing. He's great as Spike Spiegel. I got his autograph.
Oh, sweet. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm a huge
Pretty
fan
cool.
of Lupin the Third, so I feel like I'd like Cowboy Bebop
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
it's huge. It's largely inspired by Lupin, from what I remember reading.
Yeah, it's a great show. Great cast of characters. I cried at the end. Pretty epic. And then I've been watching One Piece. I'm only 15 out of like 990 something.
Yeah, so that series goes on for like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's still airing,
Christ.
and the chapters are still coming out. I don't know how the author is still alive.
Oh yeah, it's based on a book, isn't it? It's like based on a graphic novel.
No, it's well, most anime is based off of manga, which is
Yeah.
Japanese comic books,
Mhm.
and One Piece recently hit its 1000th chapter,
Christ.
and it's the longest running manga. Well, yeah, the longest running manga.
I am so jealous of the European and Japanese comic industry, just because it's like largely, single creators being able to publish works, and there's not like,
Corporations.
yeah.
I watched
What else?
just another film. I watched Get Out for the first time this year. I think that was in January,
Mm.
which I really liked. I give that a 9.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I watched.
what about favorite film of this year that you've seen
Ooh.
so far?
New film, or
What did you say? Sorry.
it's like a new film from this year.
Yeah, a film that came out this year.
Okay.
Something
mean-
that came out this year then. Okay.
I'll go first because I'm not going to. Mine is A Quiet Place Part 2, which I said a lot about in the last episode, so I won't spend too much on that here. So
A Quieter Place.
what? Sorry.
A Quieter Place.
Hmm.
Followed by A Quietest Place, and then the fourth movie is just called Shh.
Yeah, mine.
I've
is
heard
Quiet
good
Place
things about.
Part
I've heard
2.
really good things about that.
It's really
both
good.
Quiet Place movies.
I didn't really I mean, I liked it, but I didn't really love the first one that much. But the second one is much better. I'd recommend it if you're able to see it at the cinema. Um,
For me, it's either a tie between uh, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train, or Quiet Place 2.
okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I have not seen many new movies that came out this year. I actually don't think I don't know if I've seen any.
Nice.
So yeah.
If you ever have 4 hours just as waste, just watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I feel like I'd either hate it or like love it, but kind of like jokingly.
I mean,
I
people
love how
who hated BVS and stuff actually seem to like it. So you may. I mean, I don't know if you like what your opinion on BVS.
BVS
but...
I liked when it came out, but I feel like if I watched it again, I really wouldn't. Because I think my general tastes in a lot of movies have changed a lot in the last 5 years. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to watch BVS again to really kind of form an opinion on it, but
yeah.
I like how on Letterboxd the banner for Snyder's League is just the same as for 2017, but in black and white.
It's not in 4:3.
No, they lied.
Oh yeah, actually, I feel like if I watched it, I'd hate it just purely because of the 4:3 aspect ratio. Because I feel like I'd be watching the VHS version of the movie.
You just need those lines going across the screen.
Yeah, it just needs the scan lines and kind of the washed out filter.
I didn't mind the 4:3. I got used to it.
Yeah, same. Did you watch it in black and white or normal?
Oh, normal. Fuck black and white.
Yeah. You gave me the normal, so I had to.
Yeah, is there a physical copy of it then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we pirated it, but
I would. I would be not surprised if like Warner Brothers came out and said that the one that came out in 2017 was actually largely part of marketing for like the Snyder version.
Well, it was a long con.
Like it's just like they were playing a really long con, and it's just like it sounds far-fetched, but at the same time it doesn't, and that's what's scary. Yeah, I can't think of any movies that came out this year that I really liked because I don't think I've seen any. So yeah.
Wait. What about any games that came out this year you played?
No.
I've played Hitman 3, but that's which I've loved. That's yeah.
I guess TV. My favorite thing was of stuff that came out this year, Solar Opposites Season 2, I guess.
Of stuff that came out this year, it would have to be Loki, I guess. It'd be one of the 3 Marvel shows, and I'm liking Loki the most, so I guess that.
For me, it's either Loki or My Hero Academia Season 5.
There's a Lupin the Third Part 6 is coming out later this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it 2D or 3D?
2D.
Yeah. I guess we could do worst new watches this year.
You watch?
I don't think anything really pissed me off. I can't think of anything.
Let me see. I mean, I watched like 8 Fast and Furious movies, so and then not okay.
Family.
Tokyo Drift was the worst one. So
family Corona. Cars.
The new one's coming. I am kind of hyped for the new one this week.
Oh yeah, there's a new one coming out, isn't there?
It comes out like Thursday this week or something, or Friday.
Wow.
Yeah. They go to space.
Of course they go to space. It's only natural that it would happen.
My least favorite new watcher this year was I watched this like a week ago. You guys have probably never heard of this. Digby, the biggest dog in the world. You
keep on telling me to watch it.
We have Clifford the big red dog at home.
yeah, it's like it's a British film from the 70s, which I had to watch because I do like a film club with some people on a different
Mhm.
Discord server, and someone recommended that.
It sounds like one of those like it's like those mid-70s Disney live action movies that they just kind of throw out there to see what happens.
Yeah, it has that vibe, but it was, oh my god, it was so fucking boring. It there's a certain charm to like the shittiness of the special effects, but it's a film, but it has the same quality of production design as a bad episode of Classic Who.
Does it have the dragon from oh crap, why am I forgetting the name? It's one of the Peter Davison episodes. It's got like one of the worst like sea monsters ever, and it's like just literally a bunch of guys underneath a tarp.
Honestly, I should recommend that for the show.
Nice.
Um,
My
Woody, what about you?
least favorite is either Hell Comes to Frogtown.
I don't know why you
Or,
even watched that.
I don't know. Yeah, that.
Yeah, I can't think of. Yeah, I don't know what mine would be, to be honest.
I've watched some more shit this year. I mean, this is I don't know, is it beloved? But Star Trek: The Motion Picture, so the first Star Trek film. I
Oh, God.
despised that. It was
Yeah, I think I can't imagine. I don't think I've ever met a single person that says they like the first Star Trek movie.
it's oh my god, it's this is what I said in my review of the film, so this about sums up my feelings. Star Trek: The Motion Picture is to 2001 what Joker is to Taxi Driver. So I think
Basically,
that about sums it up. So it's like
yeah, it does a really bad 2001 impression.
it's like I think another way of summing it up, like the filmmakers wanted to like capitalize on the success of Star Wars and 2001, but they understood why neither worked. So
Yeah. For some reason, I keep thinking that movie came out before Star Wars,
no, 2 years after. Same year as
Yeah.
Alien, which
1979. Like I keep
Yeah.
thinking it. I always keep thinking it came out like earlier in the decade, like around 2000, or 2000, around 1973 or something like that.
I mean, it feels
My
like
cat is
an older
back.
film.
You might hear her in the background.
Nice.
The return of Jawn's cat. But yeah, I mean the after that the Star Trek films were all pretty good, so
Yeah,
it was worth sticking
it's
with
the
it.
weird thing I think is from what I read is that like all the even number Star Trek movies are the best ones, and the odd ones are odd.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, like the I mean that's accurate with the original series movies, not so much with the Next Generation ones.
Yeah, Next Generation's a much more mixed bag.
Because I mean I didn't really love any of the Next Generation movies, to be honest. I mean my favorite Star Trek film was Star Trek 4, the one where they go back to 1980s
Yeah.
America, which it's such a weird concept. I really liked it.
I'm surprised they didn't do that sooner, to be honest.
Yeah, just I think I mentioned this before to you guys, but I'd really like a Star Wars film in that vein.
I would love that, honestly.
Like
Like
send
where they go to
send
Earth.
the originals the original trilogy cast back to Earth or something, or
It'd be interesting if they did it like they went back in time. It's like they went to Earth in like maybe not even modern day Earth, but like Earth in like the past. Like I mean, I actually thought of a Star Wars story where they went to like a planet where technologically it's around the Second World War, but like it'd be
That's
interesting to
cool.
see something like that.
I think like maybe not the modern like today, but I think sending like Han, Luke, Leia, and Chewie back to the 1980s.
Oh yeah,
America would be
send
really
them to
good.
the 70s or the 80s would be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would work better with the original trilogy cast because I think Harrison Ford would really sell that.
Yeah,
I think he'd
Yeah,
be really good in that.
yeah. I think. Well, also I think. Yeah, I think also like with the original trilogy cast, you could do the whole 70s thing, and it would kind of be a good. Like I could see it like there'd be a good anniversary thing or something for like the 50th.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
never gonna happen because, well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's
Star
never
Wars,
gonna happen. But
Star Wars, they're very strict about that kind of stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to see. I mean, maybe a comic could happen or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They technically did that, but it's not. I don't think it really counts.
Mm.
Because there's that one where they go back, like land on Earth, Han gets killed, and then Indiana Jones discovers the Falcon.
Oh, I think was this in Legends or something? I think
It's Legends, but like non-canon within Legends, so it's like
okay. It's like
a
Skippy.
non-canon timeline and a non-canon timeline.
Yeah. Anyway, that was way off topic. Yeah. So new watches this year.
I think we've talked about new watches enough. I think.
Yeah.
Unless you
Yeah,
have one.
Sure.
I can't think of anything.
I've got one more, but I'll say it quick. Godzilla 1998.
That's a lot of fish. Oh wait, no, that's the 97 one. Oh, wait.
That's the right one. That's the right one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Roland Emmerich, like Americanized version. Yeah.
I think he might be my least favorite director.
Ooh.
Yeah, honestly, like, you know, people say, oh yeah, Michael Bay is the worst director. Like, yeah, Roland Emmerich exists, and why did we forgotten about him? Didn't he do that Battle of Midway movie a couple years ago?
I don't know.
I think. Well, let's see.
Like, I actually heard good things about that movie, and I vaguely remember hearing Emmerich was involved, and I was kind of surprised about that.
Yeah, he did Midway, and I did not like that movie, actually.
Yeah. I've heard
I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but I think that's mostly from like people who are talking about the historical accuracy, but I think that's really it.
I think the only decent movie he's done is the first Independence Day.
I still haven't seen
I
that.
forgot there was a second one.
That second one sucked. The first one isn't all that great, but it's still good.
The second one, the first one, the original Independence Day is just kind of a fun watch if you just kind of want to just watch a dumb movie.
Okay. Any other topics?
I guess there's questions.
Oh, good point. Questions. Do we have any questions?
Yeah. Let's see.
We've got a few. Films that you want from Air Jordan. Films that you want to see, but will probably never get made.
Oh, that's good. Well, I need a minute to think about this. I mean, the Star Wars film where they go back in time that we just were talking about, I'd like that.
I would love... I've got quite a few. I love a Genndy Tartakovsky Asterix movie. Because I think the general action of... The general, like... Asterix as a comic, if you've ever read it, is very movement-based. Is like very movement-heavy, and I think Tartakovsky would do a good job adapting it. I mean, he's working on a Popeye movie, and it's not too different from Popeye. I gotta let my cat out again, sorry. Another one that, I guess it's a series, but I think I'd also like a movie, or I guess like a movie as well. This is for Star Wars, a Rey story, but with Alex Hirsch in charge of it. Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
For me, I'd probably say like a Hayao Miyazaki directing a Star Wars movie, animated movie.
Ooh,
that'd be cool. Yeah. I'd like. I doubt it will ever happen, but Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nothing like there hasn't even been like a comic adaptation of it, because there was a lot of stuff on the table for that, wasn't there?
They were gonna do. Well, I mean, Mysterio was gonna be in it as like a cold open villain. It was gonna be revealed to be Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Then there was gonna be, I think Vulture was gonna be the main villain, but also the Lizard was gonna be in it, who'd been set up in the previous films. Yeah.
I need to go back and rewatch those.
I mean, I think they did like a comic adaptation of the third of like a Burt. They did a comic adaptation of the Burton version of Batman Forever. Unless I'm thinking of something like some sort of fan project. So I'm surprised they didn't do that with Spider-Man 4.
Yeah. I mean,
we should do the Raimi trilogy for an episode.
Maybe when the new Spider-Man 3 comes out.
Alright, I'll suggest that.
Or I guess whoever has that.
Okay,
has that
I call it.
Let's see, what else is there?
because I mean, just go on Spider-Man. I rewatched Spider-Man 3 I think last week, and honestly, it's not bad. It's pretty good, I think.
Nice.
I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the first two. I mean, I'd say the second one is my favorite superhero film ever. So, so yeah, but I mean, 3 is pretty good, and
I think those movies did a really good job at making it feel like the original comics.
That's what I thought. They feel like such a love letter to the like 60s Spider-Man comics, because I mean, like Sam Raimi has said, he was like a big fan of those growing up, so you can tell.
Really wish adaptations of comic book movies nowadays tried to lean more into the actual comic book thing. Like that's sort of that's one thing I really loved about Into the Spider-Verse, and obviously it's animation so they can do it, but they really leaned into the comic book inspiration. Like they like I think they did a really good job kind of playing with that, and I think the Burton Batman movies did as well. I don't know. Yeah. I just wish it'd be nice to see more comic book movies do that, and it's something I really love about the Raimi movies.
Yeah.
So another movie that will probably not get made, but I kind of want to come out, is the Sony Pictures The Meme movie.
Oh no. Oh, you mentioned Miyazaki doing a Star Wars movie. I offer Miyazaki doing a Tintin movie.
That would go well.
Because Cagliostro is very Tintin-esque in my opinion, so it'd be interesting to see that.
I look forward to his new film.
Yeah, me too. All right. Peachtoast.exe asks, what's your favorite YouTuber?
Oh, we did that last episode, but you can answer.
Oh, you did? Okay, I must be really far back then.
I mean, you and Yamcha can answer it because you guys weren't on that episode. So,
Okay. So, do you have one?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's obvious. Game Grumps is my personal favorite. I just find them really easy to watch, and it's great to have like as background, like when I'm drawing or working on working on like a model or something like that. They're just, I don't know. It's just, I really just like watching it. I think it's the very casual nature of it is just sort of what makes it very much fun to watch.
I would have thought Scott was for you. Or I assume he's up there.
Scott's like second or third. It's like my three favorites are Game Grumps, Scott, and Cadicarus.
Nice. For me, it's either Michael Reeves or Lily Pichu. Which is ironic since they're dating. But I don't know. Michael Reeves, he's hilarious.
I really like his videos.
Lily Pichu, I don't know. I just like her for some reason.
Oh, I think Jordan's got some of these.
What's one?
Finland's question she just posted. I feel like you've got some of those.
Oh god, I got way too many. I don't know why I laughed like Will Smith did in the rewind in YouTube rewinds, but so should I do an unpopular Star Wars? Should I just do one?
I don't know. However many you want.
Okay. Let's see. Revenge of the Sith is my least favorite Star Wars movie. Crap. What? Palpatine coming back isn't really that bad an idea. Depending on how it's done, as long as it's more supernatural and not science-based.
Would liking The Last Jedi count an unpopular opinion? I guess among
totally. People. Why did I forget about Last Jedi is my favorite. Last Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. That Rey is my favorite Star Wars character. I think I've said that she's my favorite character before. Let's see. I really like Solo, but I don't know if that's really unpopular.
It's funny how like all of these things you're saying are like the exact opposite for me.
I want Star Wars. I want a canonical Star Wars comedy to come out. Like, I don't want Lucasfilm to be like, "Oh, this is non-canon, so you don't have to worry about it tainting your canon." I want a comedy set in the Star Wars universe that's 100% canon. I want that, and I don't want them to skirt around it. And
I've been asking for a Star Wars sitcom for a while.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Like Star Wars. My idea was a sitcom about Babu Frick set in his repair shop.
a like an Odd Couple type show, but with Babu Frick and
Maybe
Zori.
C-3PO. I'll say maybe C-3PO. It's like after
Oh.
Rise of Skywalker, they rebuilt
Oh
it.
no, I got it. Oh, Laurel and Hardy type short, like a Laurel and Hardy type short movies with C-3PO and R2D2.
Perfect.
And they wear bowler hats. What else? I want a Doctor Who crossover.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we could be here all day. Do you want to move on to another question?
Yeah. I can't think of anything. If I think of more, I'll just mention them.
What? Oh, okay. From Gardemir. Which movie genre deserves a comeback?
Comedy. Comedy.
I mean, comedy's already.
Yeah, I'd say comedy.
Comedy's being made though.
Yeah, but
it's
we
not
don't.
good.
We don't have like. I mean, with the frequency of them coming out, and like most comedies are like, I think we only get about like 1 or 2 a year, at least in terms of major releases.
And they're usually mediocre.
Yeah, and like also, movies like the Marvel movies. Yeah, they got humor in them. I don't think it's particularly good humor, in my opinion, because it's mostly just quip based. And
I think it depends on the film. Like Thor Ragnarok, I think is the funniest.
yeah, oh yeah, I love Thor Ragnarok though. The humor
Thor
is
Ragnarok's
amazing.
really funny.
Sorry, I can't believe I forgot about that one.
The new Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man movies, I think are very funny as well. I think I like their style of
Oh,
humor.
and Spider-Verse too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think comedy needs to come back. I think we need more comedy movies.
I think slasher movies, which are kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I think I wish it was. Yeah, I mean, in like the 80s, they were like set like 5 a year, but yeah.
Oh, you know what I want to see come back? I want to see more heist movies.
Yeah. Heist movies are great.
Yeah. Heist movies are really hard to do because you gotta like really think out your plot in terms of because you need to make it airtight.
Ocean's 11 is probably my favorite heist movie.
I think that stop motion movies, not like a comeback, but they need more. I think more companies need to start coming out.
And 2D animation as well.
2D, yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of this 3D crap.
There's room for both.
Too many 3D animation. Too many 3D animated movies. Can we just? I want traditional animation back, Disney. Come on.
I mean, I think there's room for both.
There's room for both, but I feel like there's a very, very limited amount of 2D and stop motion, especially like Aardman, Leica, and who's the third studio? And there's a third one, right?
It's the.
There's Aardman and Leica, but
Aardman, are they the guys who do like Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Aardman.
Leica's Coraline. What else have they done?
Missing Link.
Oh yeah.
And Kubo and the Two Strings. Those are the other two that come to mind.
I've seen Kubo.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay.
They got a really good George Harrison cover in there. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Aardman's got Wallace and Gromit, obviously. They got Morph.
Shaun the Sheep.
Early Man. They did a lot of stuff. They actually did the music video for Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer.
I guess. Shall we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question from Gardemar. It's best film music composer.
Oh, Howard Shaw.
John Williams.
Joe Hisaishi.
Yuji Ono.
I do not know these people.
George Martin.
Mine would be Howard Shaw, John Williams, and Ennio Morricone.
Yeah, I think mine would be John Williams and Yuji Ono.
Sort of a sub-question for this. For each composer, what's your favorite score by them?
Let's see. For John Williams, it would be The Force Awakens, and for Yuji Ono, it would be Castle of Cagliostro.
Okay. For John Williams, for me, it would be Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. For Howard Shaw, it would be... I'm going to sort of cheat and say the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
Well, they were all
And-
filmed at the same time, so it
Yeah.
counts.
And for Morricone, I'd say Good, the Bad, the Ugly, which listen to episode, I think it was 11 of the podcast for our thoughts on that. Cheeky little plug.
For Joe Hisaishi, it's either Totoro or The Wind Rises.
Okay.
Who did the soundtrack for Princess Mononoke?
Hisaishi, yeah.
Okay, I always like
He
the
does-
soundtrack to that one too.
He's done all the Miyazaki ones.
Mm-hmm. Even Nausicaa?
I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Flushcast. Thank you, John, for joining us today.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it's
thanks,
great to be
Jawn.
back.
Yeah. Next week, Sam is hosting, and we still don't know what we're doing, so yeah.
Make
So
it
that'll be a
a
surprise
wild
for you.
card.
That'll be a surprise for us as well as you. This is Editing Bullet here, just to let you guys know that Sam has chosen to do Space Jam for the next episode. So look forward to that.
So yeah, we in the description, same stuff as always. All our links are down there.
Yeah, join the
Twitter,
Discord server.
All that jazz.
Follow us on Letterboxd.
Yeah, Letterboxd, do it. We'll see you guys next time for our 14th episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Right.
I've been Yamcha.
Oh yeah, I've been Bullet.
And I've been Jawn.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.